Firstly, I would like to say that it has been very enlightening to be present here and to listen to everyone's speeches. Thank you very much. I myself have learned a great deal from your invaluable knowledge in your specific spheres of interest. I think, however, though, we need to have a very honest conversation with each other now, because we are entering a time of world history where we're going to witness a major realignment of world powers and a changing of geostrategic interests pertaining to our region. 70 years plus of Pakistan's existence and occupation has yielded nothing but declining rates of education. Let us not forget, Pakistan is one of the countries on earth which has a declining yearly literacy rate, where the growth of stunting of children is increasing yearly. That means that levels of malnutrition are increasing. This is a country that has the third highest level of infant mortality in the world. If the level of education is declining and our future, let us not be mistaken about this, our children are our future. Since the creation of the state of Pakistan, with the passage of time, our future, our children have no future. This is extremely serious. Pakistan has the highest rates of out-of-school children on this planet. It has done absolutely nothing to resolve these issues. Now, if we have a state wherein most of its budget is spent on defense to acquire the fastest growing nuclear arsenal on Earth, and less than 2% is used on education, does such a state have a future? I mean, this is one point, in fact, in terms of the complete collapse of Pakistan's civil institutions, its education, the fact that it was never able to meet its energy needs and still cannot do so. Now, the gross human rights violations that are taking place in Balochistan, in Sindh, in Kashmir, in the Pashtun areas, this is something that cannot be ignored. It is becoming worse. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 or 5 generals that are based in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, and they are running a mafia state. They care not about the future of the Baloch or the Kashmiri or the Sindhis or the Pashtuns, let alone anything else. And if we allow this to go on, there will be no future. In 70 years' time, there will be other Kashmiris and Baloch sitting up here discussing ways forward. No, history is granting us a unique opportunity now in order to reassert our self-sovereignty, a sovereignty that was stolen from us at the creation of this Pakistani state. Now, the United States had said that Pakistan was effectively a failed state in 2015. Top US defense analysts have said that Pakistan will collapse by 2025. I mean, we know about the severe shortages of water. We know about the fact that there's very little energy, health services, education, everything is almost non-functional in the state. But what are we going to do about it? It is now the time for us to unite our efforts, to seek full, outright independence, very much akin to the way that Yugoslavia was carved up, and take back control of our own destiny. As respected Saad was saying earlier, many people tried to work with the Pakistani state. Even if we were to say, you are well aware that we Baloch never accepted being part of Pakistan. But even those that attempted to try to be a part of it did not get anywhere, except for being forcibly disappeared, subjected to torture, humiliation, and now the radicalization of their youth. This is the reality now. There is no way forward in this state. We have tried every means possible. This state is beyond reasoning. The very faculties of reasoning do not exist. Since Pakistan's inception, the United States, its largest donor, has provided over $75 billion of aid to this country. For the past decade, at least $2 billion a year. In 2010, when the United States decided to increase it to $4.5 billion, they suffered one of the largest casualty counts of their armed personnel in Afghanistan. How is anyone to trust such a state? When Mullah Omar was in charge of the Taliban, his bodyguards were provided by the ISI. This is the chief of the intelligence services of Pakistan. The ISI chief Nadeem Taj, whose fingerprints were all over the Mumbai bombing of 2008, has been known categorically to warn the Taliban High Command in their hideouts to move just before drone strikes. This is the reality. These are the facts. The United States is not going to put up with this country for very much longer. Now, what we need to do is come up with an entirely new vision and strategy, a way forward. Do you not want to have a thriving, prosperous, highly educated Kashmir? Because this is our vision for Balochistan. This is what we want. We want a highly progressive, educated, technocratic class leading us into the new centuries to come. We don't want to be squandering our wealth and literally enduring levels of poverty worse than sub-Saharan Africa. Balochistan suffers from the highest levels of poverty. Kashmir now, let's be really honest with one another. Do you want to compare Indian-administered Kashmir with Pakistan-occupied Kashmir? Is there a comparison? Bring forward your factual data on levels of education. Bring forward all the data on radicalization, on women's position in society. You will see major backward movements in almost every sphere of human endeavor under Pakistani occupation. How much longer do you wish for this to carry on? The way forward is that we need to come together, we need a memorandum of articles, and we need to tell the civilized world that we wish to join the democratic society of nations. We want educational reform. We want housing for all of our citizens. We want the latest hospitals. We do not want our people having to travel to another country to seek medical assistance, which in Balochistan's case, for the trillions of dollars that we have provided them in revenues from our natural resources, is absolutely appalling. The people in Dera Bukti are burning firewood. They are burning firewood next to a gas cylinder, a gas pipeline that is taking gas from Dera Bukti into the heart of Punjab. This has been going on for decades. Are you telling me that they do not know that this is happening? No, indeed, they know that it is happening. So let us come together. Let us come together in an alliance of democratic nations with the backing of the world's most powerful and the world's largest democracies, the United States and India, and let us push for full full independence and sovereignty and begin really living. Thank you.